Hi, it's Hans at ahappierman.com. Today's topic is compare you to you. Well, first of all, it's a beautiful day here where I'm at. Wow, finally getting nice. This is May 2020 as I'm speaking, and we're still kind of dealing with the coronavirus. But it does seem like things are improving. The news that I watch, the sources I see with actual numbers show that things are getting better. So that's, that's why I'm talking about comparing you to you. When you're comparing things, you've got to compare like to like. Like with this coronavirus, unless you're kind of monitoring this on a similar basis, you can't make heads or tails of the numbers. So, I'm always, let's say I'm looking at the numbers today, I want to look at those exact same numbers tomorrow, and then see if the numbers, and from week to week to week, are those same numbers improving, right? How do you compare? You got to compare the same numbers. You can't say, well, over here it's doing a lot worse. Well, how do I know that unless I knew what was over there, right? So that's why I talk about today's topic is compare you to you. It's such a mistake to compare yourself to other people. Maybe you can use other people and their successes as inspiration and motivation, and you can use their failures and their bad circumstances as reverse motivation to not do those things. But when you want to compare, if you're living your life this way right now, you should not compare yourself to somebody else today that is living in what you would consider a better way. And, truthfully, they obviously can be living much, much, much better than you. Obviously, that's the case, unless you have everything you've ever wanted, your life is going to pale in comparison to their lives. But again, you're living your life, right? So you've got no way to capture their life experience and their genetics, their upkeep, their upbringing, their environmental factors. There. It's all there. So you definitely don't. You just can't, right? You cannot expect to have the same good life that somebody else has. You can only expect that you can improve your life. All right? You would compare your life now to some time in your past where it wasn't as good, and say, it's much better today than it was then. And also you could look and say, today, it's so much worse than it was. And that happens too, right? That certainly happened to me when I was in the worst parts of my marriage. My life was just such a disgusting, disgraceful mess compared to how my past was, that I couldn't even believe it, right? I couldn't even comprehend how bad it was. And, I talk about that in Leave Your Wife and Become a Happier Man with the 3-step system it's found on the ahappierman.com website. But yeah, you compare you to you, always and only. If your life today is worse than it was yesterday, maybe you did something yesterday to make it worse. Maybe you drank too much, ate the wrong foods. Maybe you haven't been exercising. Maybe, which sometimes happens, is you exercise too much and hurt yourself, right? You did something wrong. You overdid something. And you'll find that if you overdo things, it's bound to make your life worse, whatever the overdoing is. What you prefer to do is gradually increase your life and gradually do things to make it better, to make yourself happier, more abundant, more prosperous, more successful, more whatever you're doing. And this will change over time too. The things I do now in my 50s are quite a bit different than the things I did in my 20s and 30s and 40s even. You know, in my 30s I was married. I had a very stressful job, working many hours a week. I was spending all kinds of money trying to upkeep an expensive home, and I was dealing with a wife who was verbally abusing me. And my children are small and cute and precious and wonderful, but you know, they were still small children, so there tons of work, tons of time to care for them properly. And because of all the, you know, overworking and over dealing with my wife, I couldn't fully enjoy them and fully be the kind of dad I wanted to be. So yeah, my life now is so much better than my life then. And you see what I mean? You want to compare you to you. And that's why I always talk about writing things down, keeping track of what's important, you know, having a calendar. And, you know, people get a little bit weird about writing things down and saying, well, I don't want to take all these notes and have to refer to these notes all the time. You'll find that if you just the act of writing it down, yeah, you may end up with a stack of notebooks, but you won't need to be rereading those all the time. Once you write it down, it gets embedded in your mind, and you can easily you'll easily start remembering the past much better just by the act of writing it down. You'll remember all the most critical elements of every year, going back, and you'll figure out a way to easily summarize this critical information about your life in a way that's easy for you to obtain, right? You might keep a blog on the computer. You might keep a summary notes. You might summarize things in your calendar, and all these things will make you'll determine all of these things. How, if you're interested in that, I have some organizational type articles on a happierman.com website. You know, click on the menu in there and scroll around. There's quite a few articles in there that can help you get a little bit better organized and enjoy your life a lot more because you're organized, and you'll be able to compare. I'm telling you, this comparison idea is really a downfall. You know, let's say right now with the coronavirus, we're supposed to get all these stimulus checks, right? And then so you'll say to somebody, yeah, did you get your stimulus check yet? Or when they say, well, I didn't qualify, and you say, oh man, that guy, he must, why not? Did you make too much money? And then you'll feel bad because you don't make as much, right? Even though you're doing fine and enjoying your job and you have plenty, right? You'll start scrolling the internet and getting upset and watching the news and getting upset about what other people are doing and not doing about this, that, and the other thing, when really what you should, I hate to say should, but what you might want to do is just focus on what you would do. Is your life better today than yesterday? Is your life better today than last year, than 10 years, than 20 years ago? Is it And further, is it likely that if you keep doing the things you're doing today, will your life be better tomorrow and the next day, week? And you get the idea into the future. You don't want to do things today that would probably ensure you have a poor future, would you? Again, you'd be looking back at yourself 10 years from now and saying, "Oh God, why did I do that?" Right? I severely injured myself doing that thing, that X, Y, and Z, and I should have done that. Right? So give that idea some thought. Only compare you to you.